Steven Seagal month sadly concludes with Force of Execution. Force of Execution stars Steven Seagal as Mr. Alexander, a crime boss who sends action plot man to prison where he meets crime boss plot man. Here, crime boss plot man tries to stop Seagal by using another crime boss plot man with the help of another crime boss plot man. Action ensues. What is the plot? I don't know, but we had a dozen strip club scenes, and that's basically plot. Pop Tot. Force of Execution was my pick. What did you think of Steven Seagal's movie?
There is one just great silver lining to this movie, and that is Seagal's only in it 25 minutes of the 90-minute runtime.
All right.
The movie is basically like a vehicle for Bryn Foster, who plays Roman Hurst. I think Bryn Foster's been in a few things. He's more of a stunt coordinator.
And it shows for sure.
It's really kind of odd because Roman is Mr. Alexander's right-hand man. He's sent to this prison to kill this guy for Ving Rhames, who plays the Iceman, and Ving Rhames tells him to kill another guy, and because of that, he's banished.
Yeah, he like Seagal like retires him, but then
Seagal retires him, and
so there's gonna have to be some kind of consequence. For now, you retired.
The gangsters take him,
beat the shit out of him,
and beat the shit out of him, crush his hands. 2 years later, and Ving Rhames is out of prison. He's working for Mr. Alexander, but he's not really working for him. He's working against him. And then there's a Mexican drug lord, and then there's Danny Trejo, who's
a Mexican witch doctor or something.
He's a Mexican witch doctor and also a cook, and he's running a diner
with
where
Seagal's daughter.
Seagal's character's girl works, but every time we're in a scene, Steven Seagal has girls sitting on his lap.
Yeah.
Take my girls. Give me a little break here.
Oh man, yeah.
And there's so many strip scenes and close-ups of chesty ladies.
Yes.
And at one time, the much beloved Ving Rhames says, "Stop wasting my dick time."
Yeah, he's like, "Get off me! You're wasting my dick time." I'm like, that's the best part of the movie.
Stop wasting my dick time.
There's so much going on, but no really concise plot at all.
It was just so hard.
That's what she said.
Unlike the other movies, the Steven Seagal movies that just pissed me off, this just bored me to tears.
Thank you.
The Roman guy was somewhat probably the only interesting part of sorts.
Yeah, and like Ving Rhames and Dan Trejo are just charismatic guys that you like anyways, but they're not really characters. They're just being kind of them.
I own this club. I'm about to own the chop shops too. That's on neighborhood, you feel me?
But that guy, like, he has like multiple black belts, and there's one fight scene that has him and Steven Seagal in it, and watching two, martial artists, and you see this guy doing all this shit, and then Steven Seagal's doing this stupid hand Jedi shit.
What was the hand motion? I've never seen that in martial arts.
I don't know.
Like he was like doing that, when you play with your sibling, you play the smack your hand thing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
What is he doing with his hand?
I have no idea.
He calls for peace. He's going to retire. And so he calls Iceman to his compound, but he knows Iceman's bringing a gang to kill him. Steven Seagal's character, Mr. Alexander, is suddenly an elite soldier.
So I had to figure that out because I was confused. This is a technical sequel to another movie where he was an actual special forces guy.
A good man.
You're nothing but a handyman. I will keep that in mine.
And I guess this is a sequel of sorts. I don't know. I didn't care enough to figure that out.
He said in the beginning that he did a lot of bad things. The government.
We open and end on fantastic Seagal narration with a extremely too close up of his nasty face.
But it's a bad life, and I regret much of what I've done.
And his horrible facial hair.
And what was going on with his facial hair?
I have no idea.
There was literally like one scene where he had his beard goatee thing was patchy.
Yeah,
and then the next one he had the full on. He's had implant hair.
Yeah, it's
goatee, and I was like, wait, what? Did they go back and film this at a different time? These scenes.
I'm a dinosaur.
And then the odd scene where he's sitting at the table and he's telling this guy all of his guns.
Amazing gun, long slide wide buddy. Got almost 15 rounds in a 45. Can you imagine? Very accurate, spectacular distance.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And he was like, I think those were probably really his guns. And he was like,
he was just rattling on.
Yeah, he was like, this is my personal one. This one's so good.
1938 national match. It was one of the smallest 45s ever made. It's one of my backups, one of my personal backups. Isn't that amazing?
This is Mary Lou, and
yes.
She sleeps with me, and it's like what?
Okay, yeah, it was
long slide Caspian 45s that I've carried a lot around. Beautiful gun.
Again, I mentioned every review how Seagal talks like he's an alien. There's several times of that.
But you know what? I like to lead with my face, you know. So give me a little bit, just enough to whip my beak.
Character decisions where they do stuff to keep people alive just to keep the plot going, where they didn't kill Action Plot Man because of whatever reason, because Ving Rhames' mom said not to.
Now, you're lucky I promised my mom I wouldn't shoot anybody today, or your ass would be dead.
Roman guy just walks in off the street, and they're like, who's that guy? And they're like, I don't know him. And it's like, it just seems like you'd get, shot.
You just get shot, yeah, because, I mean, these are not low level, even Ving Rhames is like a high-end Crip boss, and it's just, I just was so confused.
Who's that dude?
That guy there? I don't know. Never seen him before. It's not with us.
And I mean, at least some of the action scenes were kind of cool. It's filmed relatively competent. There's some color correction that makes the scenes look kind of cool and different. They didn't do a whole lot of cutaways or editing with the Action Plot Man was fighting, and he seems to really love his kicks. The guy's always kicking because I guess he hurts his hands, so it was an excuse to just do kickboxing shit, which is pretty cool.
True Seagal fashion, like some of the other movies, the dialogue he did deliver, he mumbled a lot.
So, I was just thinking, man, I know you're retired, but I need to bring you back.
Ironically, Miss Todd at one point was like, did he have a creepy scene with his daughter? And I said, surprisingly, he didn't. And then the movie ends where they have this huge compound raid at his mansion that also has a basement that looks like a Subway crafts table kitchen thing for some reason, and then his daughter comes up and he hugs her way too low on the back, way too low. Looks like he was grabbing her ass.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
And I don't understand. So this movie, like Ving Rhames, the man was in 7 Mission Impossibles, and he did 3 after this.
Right.
I don't understand why he was in this movie.
Either. I don't expect you to understand that.
I think Eric Roberts or something was like, I'm a working actor. I'm not going to turn down a role. So maybe, hey, it paid a bill or something. Because like Danny Trejo, I could kind of see that. But I was very confused by Ving Rhames being in it. And he's not bad. He's just not really a character at all.
Crips and things, baby. Work out a number for you.
I'm talking about.
I think the movie's biggest issue is the third act is like 80% of the movie. This final sequence of all the bosses coming together and fighting is going to happen from like 20 minutes in.
2 gangsters coming after my white girl.
And it just drags it the entire time. It's like, okay, well, we're going to get to that final. Oh, okay, well, we're going to get to the final. No, it just keeps going. And what's going to happen.
And that comes to the problem with all these movies we watched this month is pacing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, you can literally stop at minute 45 and go do stuff.
Yep.
And that'll make your life better, because there is just no way I can sit there for 99 minutes.
No, it's there's no sense of pacing or anything.
I think about John Carter. John Carter was a long movie, but it didn't feel that long. This
and
99 minutes was painful.
Right, and even then you could probably still cut out 5 or 10 minutes of John Carter and make a better movie. This, I'm just like, if you cut out the plot so thin, it's a 40-minute plot stretched over an hour and a half, and it's like, wait a minute, how does it still feel so long?
You can have this kitchen, bitch.
And I had such a hard time at figuring out who worked for who and who did what. And
because then they add the cartel in there, and his daughter was off limits. Then they wanted, I guess they were trying to like sexualize his daughter, but then they wanted to kill her. And then, like you point out earlier, he went to see Iceman, and they both came out with the same conclusion that we as the audience went in knowing what was going to come out anyways. They were going to fight. So it was like, what was the point?
I'm going to use my magic to run up that wall and then jump up over the roof.
Okay, great. Hey, can we get those wires in here, please?
Whoa, hey. Who said anything about wires?
So Seagal could beat the shit out of people.
And buy me out.
Yeah, because he said, well, I'm going to retire, buy me out. And then he walked away, and they're just like, oh, we're going to fight anyway.
Get the homies strapped up.
And I'm like, oh.
Are you really as good as they all say you are?
Every once in a while.
And part of plotting and creating a narrative is keeping the audience guessing. So you learn stuff, you learn bits of information. There's nothing learned, and so therefore you're bored.
But I'm the big dog here now.
So the interesting, fascinating thing about this is we've done 5 Seagal movies. Let's try to rank them. Let's start with the best. Obviously,
the best one would be Under Siege 2.
Under Siege 2, clear cut. It's an actual action movie. It has a plot. It moves. It's got decent acting. It's like a B action movie.
The one we did last week in Submerge were probably the worst.
Yeah, I would probably put this second because the action scenes. I really like Ving Rhames and just about everything.
And my bite is far worse than your bite would ever be. Yeah, all that karate shit, that shit is cool, but we 6-0, nigga. We put one to the dome, you feel me?
Find your core character, Sean. You are an oppressed black man from the ghetto.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding this one, man.
Hey, think Tupac.
And Danny Trejo.
And Danny Trejo, yeah. You don't get a whole lot of Seagal. And then I would probably put Shadow Man, because it was actually pretty funny. Film ends on a freeze frame of him laughing. I can't see out of my right eye anymore.
It's beautiful.
And then I would probably
Submerged, and then last week.
I would.
What was last week's? Because I keep forgetting.
I ain't finished yet.
I would probably just watch Under Siege 2. I think
But on that bombshell, we can end.
But yeah, as usual on Lost and Found, we rank things by loss. You just avoid it.
It's all full of pus.
Found, you search it out whenever you can and give it a watch like we do. Hopefully the last was Seagal for a while. 2013's Force of Execution. Where do we rank it?
I wouldn't watch it again.
I would skip it.
The plot is failing. It's got a few bits and pieces with the fighting choreography is pretty decent, but beyond that, it's horrifying. The scenes that Seagal in are just
bad.
It's all me. Look at how cool I am.
It's all dressed up, jerk me off material.
1938 national match. Series 70 Colt. Very accurate, spectacular. One of my personal backups. Isn't that amazing?
That's exactly what we ordered, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. They got the Glocks, man. They got the Tech 9s. They got the Uzis. Freeze, sucker!
It's filmed a little bit more competent than something like Submerged and even Shadow Man, and some of the action scenes are decent, but overall it's still a vehicle for Seagal to get himself paid and jerk himself off.
Yeah.
If you're sitting down watching TV and your Aunt Vicky passes it, tell her to skip it and watch Under Siege 2 or even John Carter. Thank you guys so much for watching. That concludes Seagal month, sadly. It's a rough period here, but we'll continue next week with true lost and found material that won't make your eyes bleed and your butthole piss blue. So stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey, don't be shitting in my toilet, man, all right?